Lyric Skydancer arrived on a clear sky afternoon, 17 October 1998, inside a redwood cottage balanced on stilts above Bodega Bay's tide-washed marsh. Outside, harbor seals practiced scales against the pilings, while her mother, a touring electro-cumbia accordionist who keeps pressed-filled daisy petals inside her bellows lining, coaxed a sleepy groove that set the window panes buzzing. Her father, a lighthouse lens mechanic who sketches cloud lanterns in the margins of logbooks, bent so close their eyelashes nearly tangled, and promised his newborn that fog squalls, lunch table rumors, and cramped size charts would always shuffle aside for anyone who dares to occupy her full outline. Curves climb happily through the Skydancer line like coastal fog rolling over valley ridges, so no one panicked when baby Lyric popped her second flannel wrap before the kettle rattled. Brandy Paloma slotted a sailmaker's needle beneath every torn seam, replaced missing inches with scraps cut from her beloved festival flag, and laughed that extra cloth costs pennies while coaxing a child to shrink can cost her entire horizons. Grade school corridors smelled of pencil shavings, sourdough bowls from the cafeteria, and salt winds sneaking through cracked casements. Lyric already rose half a head above her classmates, blocking the overhead beam anytime she diagrammed water cycles on the pull-down map. One misty recess, two boys hop-skipped circles around her, chanting, "Crab boat," each time her rain boots thudded a chalk square. Bad twilight, she combed the rack line collecting soda caps polished pearl by Serge, threaded them on kite string, stitched the tinkling chain down her turquoise hoodie, and stepped into class at dawn, scattering rainbow freckles across the ceiling tiles. A substitute reading coach caught 7 shaky seconds on a prepaid flip phone, posted the shimmer to an infant video nook, and by lunch 15,000 strangers applauded the girl who forged ridicule into lighthouse sparkles. Lyrac wrote a promise in violet ink beside her subtraction drills. Clouds crowd only until you flash them bright. While weekends belonged to Spud Point, where her mother's accordion licks danced with oyster shuck knives, espresso hiss, and gulls arguing over fish frames. Store jeans jammed halfway on Lyric's thighs, so she bartered tip jar quarters for sun-bleached fishing net, unraveled it into rope, crocheted high-rise culottes, stenciled sea lion silhouettes in squid ink, and posed at sunset against rust-flecked ballers while her cousin snapped grainy frames. He loaded each shot into an online diary called Harbor Lantern during the same week of photo-sharing apps splashed onto patchy coastal towers. Captions flipped between NorCal slang and plain truths. Curves anchor gusts better than seawalls do. Before her 16th birthday, 52,000 unseen hearts double-tapped every marmalade frame. Proof that bright screens hush cafeteria whispers faster than any hall monitor's hiss. A kelp turbine scholarship swept her across the bridge to Cal Poly. Daylight disappeared in hydrodynamics labs, nights belonged to a 24-hour Tamal cart, glowing neon persimmon beneath eucalyptus shadows. The heat lamp became her only softbox. Between mole orders, she filmed 90-second reels, folding deli parchment into poppy barrettes while translating dart rotation and half surf. Hush, half, lecture zip. One upload layer harbor still chirps on a lo-fi shuffle while she chain-stitched reflective mooring cord into thrift store denim. 2 downs later, the counter surfed past 1.3 million. West Coast style pages dubbed her the Tamale Couturier, yet every sponsor email locked at size 16. Lyric parked each pitch in a photo label shrinking nets, wiped poblano sauce from her cuff, and rolled another masa parcel. Ping Tai Winter delivered an email from Columbia Sportswear inviting her to co-design a spray shell capsule named Siren Pulse. She replied with 3 bedrock rules. Patterns must climb to 60-inch hips, half the shoot crew hired from community college fashion grads, and 10% of net profit pledged to eelgrass restoration across the northern coast. Columbia signed before sunrise silvered the skylights. The shoot opened at dawn on a fog-blanketed sand spit, where otters looped through eelgrass ribbons. Lyric guided curvy paddle surfers across mirror water while a drone scribbled figure eights overhead. When the lookbook launched, every extended-size coat vanished in 41 hours across 28 countries. Harbor Lantern vaulted beyond 700,000 bright points. Still smelling of cinnamon champorado, she balanced her phone on a spice crate, ducked behind masa sacks, and live-streamed tear-bright thanks beneath buzzing fluorescence. If the swell of this tale already tugs at your ribcage, pause and tap subscribe right now. One quiet click secures your berth on the rail so the next chapter washes onto your feed before algorithm currents flip the wind. Spotlight shimmer soon beckoned rumor goals. A gossip vlog claimed Lyric taped steel plates around her waist beneath those Columbia shells. At sunrise, she paddled a cedar board beyond kelp beds, steadied herself in sports bra and linen shorts, dusted each stretch mark with crushed bougainvillea powder, and riffed an accordion groove so raw the pelican sketched circles overhead. 10 million viewers reposted the jam, tagged bougainvillea proof, brushing magenta flecks on their own curves until gossip sank beneath slack tide. Tamale wages braided with capsule royalties and whipped into Skydancer butter, a custard swirling spruce tip butter, blackberry seed oil, and mica sparks that gleam pearl and foam flash. 19,000 tins cooled on her father's chart table, lids tied with braided crab trap line, each tag stamped, "Moisturize your horizon." Stock emptied in 83 minutes, raising $198,000, 20% seeded Beacon grants that place industrial serters and hydrophone kits in plus-size teens makerspaces from Santa Cruz to Coos Bay. 8 months later, 36 grant winners hosted a floating fashion and Graywell song gala aboard a retro dredge barge wrapped in LED seaweed, beaming to sunrise desks from Nairobi to New. San Francisco Fashion Week minted new Pier lore when a backstage blower sliced her emerald mesh gown from hip to hem with 90 seconds to curtain. Lyric ripped neon dockline off a truss, laced the slash like hiking hooks, and glided the runway as if the splice had lived in every sketch. Camera shutters cracked like kettle corn. Vogue Cascadia named the save rope Cadence, and another million lantern Voyager surfaced before the after-party DJ dropped track 1. Trouble circled again when a disgruntled handler leaked partial emails hinting she demanded abalone sliders and chauffeured hydrofoils for her rescue cormorant Pepper. She posted the full chain showing refillable water urns, lentil stew for crew, caption monitors for deaf stylists, then wired that month's affiliate stream, $137,000 into biodegradable crab trap pilots along the Lost Coast. Vance repeated her doc mantra, receipts shine brighter than rumor grit, until slander evaporated like sea spray in sun. By midsummer, Harbor Lantern glowed with 6.9 million Instagram hearts, 3.4 million real Voyagers, and 2 million Steadfast channel subscribers, engagement hovering near 10% and sending brand decks back to blank slides. Cartier invited her to headline a Topaz Search film inside Pigeon Point's Century Lens. She agreed once Cartier funded therapy stipends for abalone divers battered by rogue wave. The finished reel, her wrist scattering amber chips across iron ribs, became Cartier's most bookmarked post of the quarter. Family keeps her keel steady. Twice a month, she streams Thai groove gatherings. Mom leans funk riffs on accordion beside a propane skillet. Dap recites cloud haiku, and Lyric flips thrift denim beneath string lights. One episode topped 9 million when Pepper waddled through powdered sugar and sneezed a glitter squall onto the mic. A Seabird Rescue now sponsors every stream, tagging rehabilitated cormorants with solar beacons financed by Skydancer butter. Butter revenue cruised past 12 million before its second equinox. She leashed an idle salmon smokehouse, carved skylights through corrugated tin, and hired furloughed deckhands plus design grads to whip custard and knot lids during midday stretch dance sets to accordion house loops. Efficiency consultants begged for heat shrink seals. She replied with her mother's wisdom, "Fingertips keep legends long after robots forget and rope ties stayed." Mental weather candor threads her feed. Bay Salt Bluff portraits sit beside tamale cart selfies captioned, "Same sky, different weather." She posts breath loops recorded in sea caves, printable resilient sheets in English and Coast Miwok, and sliding scale therapy codes. 131,000 followers call her Shoreline Honesty their first calm harbor. Community rides glitter under crushed shell paint. Hundreds pedal the coastal path at dusk, wearing Skydancer butter on collarbones and LED drift glass tassels on spokes. Ticket proceeds in large beacon grants and fun wheelchair snorkel lifts at Thai Pool Coves. Chowder huts labeled late. Crab bisque bowls climb 15% on ride nights. Lyric leads on a vintage cruiser with Pepper plush strapped in front, pausing to lace any rider's trailing seeker. Thrifty is polishing a memoir titled Currents Keep Names for 11 language shells next spring, while a documentary crew traces her scheme to convert retired weather buoys into floating maker hubs for coastal range schools. Puma's Watt Wave Lantern sneaker launches next quarter, threaded in reflective rope and cushioned by algae foam, channeling 10% of revenue into beacon seedlings hugging the Pacific hinge. Here comes your second reminder floating on salty air. If the subscribe bag still glows red, flip it calm gray right now. One gentle press assures you see the next wool before. Algorithm Tide Sphere. When we play back Subtle's drip to the description, when there, fresh Skydancer butter jars, fast lane beacon grant forms, tonight's Tide Group playlist, and a discreet compass, a research-rooted kit of conversation sparks and calm confidence drills, marking the clearest route to lasting love and the most reliable way to spark authentic intrigue in any woman you meet. Free, no walls, one tap away. With the soda cap spine, rope cadence gown rescue, or pepper glitter sneeze brighten your evening, hit like, drop your loudest ripple in the comments, and share this voyage with a friend whose sails hang slack. Every curve redirects currents, every scar refracts moonlight, and the Pacific bows to anyone who plants both boots on the pier and greets tomorrow eyes wide. Soft final whisper glides under the gulls. Subscribe this instant, claim your rail, find that love link in the description, and meet me on the next rising tide when another story gleams beyond the breakers and courage calls your name all over again.